value at risk based upon historical approach, the variance-covariance method, and the Monte Carlo simulation. So first of all, trying to understand historical approach. You have the rate in you have the adjusting closing prices. From these adjusting closing prices, can I simply calculate my percentage change in return? Can I simply calculate my daily return? The simple formula we did in the previous sessions also. In financial modeling, we calculate beta, right? Simple percentage change in return. My new value by the previous value minus 1. Okay? Here I do it for one cell. If for example all of these cells are empty, I can simply go down, right? Control, Shift, upwards key and Control D. I've simply calculated the percentage change in daily returns. Okay? The percentage change in daily returns. Simple?
Yes, sir.
Simple clear?
Yes, sir.
The next column you see, column D. Column D says sorted returns. Column D says sorted returns. Column C returns have been sorted from descending, largest to smallest. Sort column D. If you see the column D has been sorted from. So column D has been sorted from largest to smallest. Column D has been sorted from largest to smallest. So this sorting you guys have to do. Okay? Simply you guys can just click in here and do a Control Shift L. You can simply do a Control Shift L. Select this row and do a Control Shift L. The pop-up shall come up, the filter one. And you can simply sort this specific D column in from Z to A. Largest to smallest. Largest to smallest. And that you have to do in column number D for historical method, that is mandatory. The values need to be sorted from largest to smallest. My first thing, I extracted the data for this company, the closing data, simply took the percentage change in return and based upon that I sorted my returns from largest to smallest, Z to A. Shortcut is Control Shift L to have my filter here, and then I can simply sort it from largest to smallest, Z to A. That you have to do, and this is my major calculation. I can simply calculate my mean, my average, my standard deviation, the minimum, the maximum, and the closing market price. The closing market price I can take for that company as on date, for example. Okay, so whatsoever is the closing market price for that company, take it. It might change from day to day, okay? But whatsoever is the closing market price, take it. Okay? Whatsoever is the closing market price, take it. Here, can we simply just calculate the mean? Yes, sir. Can we simply just calculate the mean? It says is equal to mean, average.
Yes.
I can simply calculate the average.
Yes.
I can do it.
Yes, sir.
Is equal to average.
Yes.
I simply got the average of my daily returns. That simply means that on an average, and this data set is basically, if you see in here, 15-20 years CK. So basically on an average, this stock gives me 0.13% on daily basis. On an average, this stock gives me 0.13% on daily basis. Average daily return of the stock is 0.13%. Then, based upon these returns, I can simply calculate my standard deviation. I can simply calculate my standard deviation, and I can all these things we have done guys not already, simple standard deviations. I can simply do STDEV as well. Not S, not P. That's fine. The answer shall be same. One is population and one is sample.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but for this data, like any of the thing will work. Simply do is equal to STDEV, and I can simply select my sorted returns and get my standard deviation. That's the measure of risk. That is the standard deviation of these returns around the mean. How fluctuating and volatile my returns are. And the measure for this is how much? 2.83%. That is the volatility or the fluctuation of these daily returns is 2.83%. Then I can simply use the minimum return and the maximum return. To calculate the minimum return, I can simply use is equal to min. For maximum, I can simply use is equal to max. So maybe from my data set, in one day the market, this stock fell by 50% approximately. Something happened in past 20 years that this stock fell by 49.94% in one single day. And there was also one time even when my stock increased 20% in one single day. The minimum and the maximum returns. The minimum and the maximum returns. Right? CMP, I can take it. Then this is the important table. This table is the important table for historical paper. And this we need to understand. So यहाँ पे simply I've taken into account the major confidence levels. 95, 99, 99.5, 90%. Okay. So what I have done in here is, if you see these confidence levels, and here I have taken some percentiles. Here I have taken some random percentiles. You guys can take 4%, 3%, 2%. So I have taken 5%, 1%. This is the confidence levels. This is my confidence levels. That's simply my 1 minus percentiles. 1 minus percentiles. Based upon Excel, we have to do in a similar format.